that many times they go ahead and just set people up, even if you haven't betrayed the system, just because they want to have a conviction on you. So it's very destructive, and overall we need people that have knowledge of all these systems to be out there exposing the globalist as much as they can. But it is creepy to have you and many others confirm to us and send us the data that, you know, the government is out there trying to move against what we're doing, the alternative media. And then the great thing for the globalist is they can engage in these activities and then blame it on the rest of the hacker community.
And a lot of the hackers that they're using for that are criminal informants. Like with the TJX breach, the main hacker that was behind that was a Secret Service informant getting paid $80,000 a year, and at the same time he was the same guy who's doing all these big credit card breaches, stealing millions of credit card numbers, and then they use that as an excuse to start clamping down on basically internet freedoms and monitoring financial transactions, looking for fraud because your credit card was probably compromised by this guy, but he was working for the Secret Service at the same time, getting paid $80,000 a year, and then that was in Wired magazine.
So once you work for the government, it's also just a license to engage in criminal activity.
That seems to be the trend. They burned him pretty bad though for when they caught him. He got sentenced to 25 years for credit card theft, which is unheard of. It's, if you kill someone, you can get 10 years, but if you steal their credit card, you get 25.
Well, that could bring down the entire system, all of this fraud that's going on. And so many times it's come out that the big banks are actually releasing this themselves and then using it as a pretext to try to bring in even more control, because they can then put regulations in that are so strong, only mega banks will be able to comply with all of it. Winston Smith, good talking to you, and appreciate all of your help, and continue the great work there at Federal Jack and We Are Change, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Now, for the rest of this hour and much of the next, but I do have some other economic news, world news, police state news I've got to get to. And we probably should just have open phones today talking about the shooting. It's so dramatic to have the footage of it, that deranged person there in Florida. I mean, just so many acts of heroism by the lady hitting him with the bag in the back of the head, with the purse, and one of the school board people saying, well, if I'm the bad guy, go ahead and kill me. Just let everybody else go. It's just all wild. And the roller coaster is just getting going. I mean, society is going to get crazier and crazier from here on out. We're going to look back on 2010 and see it as tame, good old days. But the fact is, we're going into this. The question is, will we come out on the other side totally enslaved, or will we come out on the other side rediscovering liberty and freedom, and rediscovering independence, and rediscovering real community, and discovering real values of liberty and freedom? Because liberty is the engine of wealth. But with liberty comes wealth, then comes decadence, then comes enslavement, because people stop standing up for freedom. We're going to go to Lindsey Williams with a giant data dump of information. Unfortunately, Mr. X, who we can now reveal his name, he revealed it a month ago here on air, but now the poor fellow has died of cancer. Former Atlantic Richfield head of operations. And a lot of it he couldn't talk about with his inside information until this gentleman had passed. Now he can, but we're going to go to him in just a moment. First, I need to tell you about some of the sponsors that have made today's radio broadcast possible. And first off is eFoodsDirect.com. I mean, look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. That's my favorite saying, is it's true, or a brain surgeon to know, because I'm certainly not a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon, that we need to have firearms, we need to have food, water, self-sufficiency, and friends we can count on, and family. That's what this is all about, having community. And it starts with food. They got high quality, recently, freshly packaged, different food lines, from gourmet to raw foods. They got it all. Freeze-dried, dehydrated, you name it. And they've got a free shipping special going for just another week or two. You can find out at eFoodsDirect.com, the letter E, foodsdirect.com, or 800-409-5633, 800-409-5633, or eFoodsDirect.com. And lastly, with the holidays going right now, it's all made in America, and they've got a deal where when you go on their site and buy some of their products, at Diamond Gusset Jeans. The website's Gusset, GUSSET.com, Gusset.com/America. You can get 3 free gifts, T-shirts, a new music CD that's really good country music, dealing with, getting our industrial base back. A lot of great stuff, great jeans, motorcycle jeans, regular jeans, and a lot more at Gusset.com/America. Or 888-8-GUSSET, 888-8-GUSSET if you want to ask about the different specials. Again, Gusset.com/America or 888-8-GUSSET. And just, again, we couldn't do it without the sponsors. Lastly, here for viewers and listeners, we are listener-supported. And I promote sponsors I believe in. Firearms, storable foods, high-quality made-in-America jeans, my documentary films, the books, the videos we carry at Infowars.com. If you order by Friday, we can guarantee you're going to get it before Christmas. We've got the 5 of my best-selling films for $24.95. That special, the Alex Jones Essential Collection, that's going to end after Christmas. We've got PrisonPlanet.tv, $5.95 a month with the monthly, or get close to 50% off. It's 5.3 months off on the yearly. So you pay for 6.7, you get 5.3. Free months, and you can share your passcode with friends and family. Just make sure the passcode in your bank account number, folks. I say, hey, 6 people can sign in with the same username passcode. And people email me and they go, well, I don't want to give my neighbor my passcode. Well, then make one up. The point is, share or give PrisonPlanet.tv memberships to friends and family. I mean, my book, Paul Watson's book, we've got the incredible insider from Rand Corporation video, Alex Abaya. He didn't believe in any of this till he was in there. Only person ever allowed in their annals because he'd written books that they were favorable to. It's a bestseller. We went to California, interviewed him. That's going up tomorrow, or Friday, excuse me. We're adding 2-3 new, high-quality, super high-res, in-depth interviews every week. The live radio show, the higher-quality podcast commercial-free, the video podcast, the live streams, 7 years of media, PrisonPlanet.tv, and it supports our operation. I want to commend and thank all of you out there that have supported us. And be sure while you're at it to support our local AM and FM affiliates. They are so wonderful. If you're a local listener and have a business, sponsor that local station. Spread the word about that station. We're all doing this together. We are getting so many new affiliates. It is so exciting. The stations are getting great ratings, which shows the truth sells. People couldn't believe this stuff 10 years ago when I was telling them. Now it's all coming true. It's out in the open, and we've just got to have the will to face it and do something about it. I mean, you think it's scary to come out and expose DynCorp for running giant child kidnapping rings worldwide. They run the local CPS right here in Texas. I mean, think about the ramifications of that. But it's in the WikiLeaks documents. It's been in mainstream news for years. There's new stuff. I mean, it's got to be done. In fact, I'm getting a sick feeling just thinking about it. But, folks, this is so real. That's why new listeners tune in and they think, there's no way this could be real because it's so shocking. It's much worse than I can even tell you. Okay? All right, folks, I want to shift gears. He'll be with us until the last 15 minutes of the next hour. We appreciate him joining us, but I got a news blitz coming up then. Plus this incredible news. They're announcing they may have full-bore martial law in England. That's what this announcement means, saying no protest nationwide. Watson's getting an article out on that right now at PrisonPlanet.com. But things are just getting crazier and crazier by the minute. But going to Lindsey Williams, he was a pastor and was in the board meetings as their official chaplain for many years on the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. It's got more oil than Saudi Arabia. He was there and watched them shut it off and not let them ship it out. He was privy to all of that. And decades after he wrote his book, that's all mainstream knowledge now. And again, people are like, this stuff's wild what Williams is saying. Well, I happen to know that everything he talked about 25 years ago came true because it was already real. And he predicted that gas would go from $60 a barrel to $150 in 6 months. It happened. He's predicted so much here because of his sources. He's got 2 former oil company executives. One of them has just died and completely spilt his guts before he died. Mr. X, we gave his name out a month ago when Williams was here. But Williams, just briefly recapping, sir, and I appreciate you joining us and coming on a little bit late. I had to finish up with that WikiLeaks hacker insider information. But just recap Mr. X's name, what the family said, when he passed, and then the stuff that you couldn't talk about until he had died.
Well, Alex, thank you for allowing me to be on your show today, because that's correct. The Mr. X of my book, Energy Non-Crisis, there were actually two of them. One of them just passed away days ago. His name is Ken Fromm. Now, if any of you would like to do what Alex has done, you can go and find it for yourself. Find out his position, find out his place, realize that he positively was one of the elitist of the world. And before this man passed away, he told me everything. And you're going to hear some things today for the very first time, because out of respect for the family, until after the funeral, I did not want to say certain things. Now, Alex, I know on the last show I did with you back, probably a month ago, you were pushing real hard to get me to say what might have been told me, but out of respect for the family, I felt that I had to hold back certain things until after he died. Now, he is dead. Therefore, I'm going to give you today many of the things that he told me. Now, Alex, I feel so fortunate, though, because you've heard me say many times that by the providence of God, all of these things have happened. The fact that I was the chaplain on the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline, literally lived with the elite of the world for 3 years, had the opportunity to sit across the dinner table from them, live in the same dorms with the people that you hear about in the World Bank, the IMF, the top oil company officials of the world. I take no credit for any of that. All of that is by the providence of God. And something else has just happened that I think has got to be the providence of God. After Ken Fromm died, the second Mr. X in my book, Energy Non-Crisis, who has kept in touch with me on a very regular basis for the past 35 years, he said on the phone one day, he said, Chaplain Williams, I know now that Ken has been giving you a lot of information and has passed away. He said, would you like for me to continue to fill his shoes and give you the information? I did not ask for that. He volunteered it. And again, Alex, I think it is by the providence of God, so that hopefully I will be able to continue to warn the world of things that these elitists have planned on an ongoing basis.
Now, why?
Now, you know who this second person is.
Sure, even more high level than Mr. Fromm, but we won't give out that name. But going back here, Fromm began to repent. Correct me if I'm wrong. What is the position of this other guy? I mean, is he not liking what's happening, or is he just enjoying telling us about our fate?
Well, this gentleman wants the information to get out. He's retired. He's 69 years of age. He's the one that was cured of cancer. He has a very close relationship with me, and as a result, he would like to see everything known. In fact, he gave me just the other day. This is so startling. Would you like to know exactly what's going to happen so that you can spare your assets? Now, this is just days ago. It was said to me, watch the European Union. They said the European Union, and folks, this is so important. I mean, you can save your household by knowing just this one simple warning that has been given to me, and he gave it to me as a sign that I could spare my household. He said to me, the European Union, they're going to have a major problem. And he said the euro will collapse at some point. Now, folks, here is the